Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us every Friday, 7 p.m. on the Friday Fix. Our other shows, Plays and Parlays, Civil Discourse, UFC with LT, and this one. Did I miss one? It's been a while.
Don't even worry about it, man. Hey, they're all up on the board. We do appreciate you trying. Just the effort alone, Mac. That's what made a difference, man. We appreciate you guys. Absolutely. We got to go ahead and get back on it. Absolutely. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys joining in. We see you guys moving on our Facebook page, our Webs Network Media. We appreciate the likes, the follows, everything from there as well. We will definitely be trying to keep you up on more news. The news is just coming in so fast. We got the government shutdown happening right now. We got some even bigger news.
What we can't cover, we're going to post it up on all our sites so you guys can keep up. We know that the mainstream news on both sides is not keeping you informed of what's going on. We're going to try to do that as we are an independent news company, or media company. And so we try to do that. What's going on right now, though, the cat's out the bag. He was denying it for so long, and they just released that was just 3 emails. They said there's more to come. So by the time you see this, there might be more to come. I think the whole thing is. Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
I was going to say, House Democrats release new Epstein emails referencing Trump. Sex offender Jeffrey Epstein referred to Donald Trump as the dog that hasn't barked and told his former companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, that an alleged victim had spent hours at my house with Trump, according to email correspondence released Wednesday by Democrats on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump, Epstein wrote in a typo-riddled message to Maxwell in April 2011. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He was never once mentioned. He has never once mentioned. I have been thinking about that, Maxwell replied. That email exchange, which came just weeks after a British newspaper published a series of stories about Epstein, Maxwell and their powerful associates, was one of 3 released by the Democrats from a batch of more than 23,000 documents the committee recently received from the Epstein estate in response to a subpoena. The names of the alleged victims and other personally identifying information was redacted from the messages. The other newly released email exchange between Epstein and author Michael Wolff, who has written 4 books chronicling the Trump presidency. Wolff, who said he spoke to Epstein at length about Trump during his reporting for the books. I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards, Wolff wrote to Epstein in December 2015, 6 months after Trump had officially entered the race for the White House. If we were to craft the answer for him, what do you think it should be? Epstein replied. I think you should let him hang himself, Wolff replied the next day. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in any way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating the debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in the Trump regime. Man, there's a lot more. There's more here, bro.
There's more that's going to come out. And, the emails alone, just them saying he was with blah, blah, blah for hours at my house. We know what he was doing. This is, ladies and gentlemen, your government's been shut down because of this. The extension of your government shutdown is because of this. They didn't want to, there's a lady, she's coming in right now. She's the 218th vote to, release these files. These are just the emails that were sent. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, what is he going to do? What is he going to do after all this comes out? He's not going to step down.
Absolutely not. I mean, we have to continue. I get so many different different messages from different people about what's going on with this Epstein thing. I put something up today, and a guy came out and said, "What about Biden? Why didn't Biden release these if this were it? Why didn't he could have stopped this whole second Trump presidency had this been, information that was in the files?" I said, first of all, Ghislaine Maxwell's case was still going on during the time of the Biden administration, so you could not just release those files because they had a case that was pending, that had this information still like in them as a part of either an ongoing trial or part of her appeal. And secondly, do I think that Biden and the rest of these guys are all, I'm not even saying Biden in general, but the Democrats are not complicit in this as well? Have there not been, has Bill Clinton not gone to the island? Has Bill Clinton possibly not, committed some of these acts as well? Or have a bunch of other different mega donors from the Democrat side not done this as well? I believe this is not a political thing for me. This isn't all about Trump. I'm not here to defend a man or a side. I'm here to defend the children who are victims of these crimes. And that's what all of us should be worried about. Like, what's going on here? Why don't we, because this is not only about just the victims of the crimes, but what are these people, what kind of power have they been able to like grab because of these crimes and because of their knowledge of what these people are doing? Look at what they did over in the UK to Prince Andrew. They got rid of everything. They took everything from him. We can't even, we're afraid to even look behind the curtain to see what's really going on. I'm not.
We're not afraid to look at it. The powers that be aren't letting. I mean, there's look, just to add to that, there's leaked documents exposing Epstein's ties to the Israeli intelligence operation. Like, leaked emails and schedule reveals that Jeffrey Epstein hosted Israel military intelligence officer Yuan Korin at his Manhattan apartment for an extended period from 2013 to 2016, while coordinating meetings with U.S. officials like Leon Panett and facilitating White House and Pentagon access to Ebad Barak's family. Dropsite News reported details Epstein's role in Israel diplomacy. Look, that's how deep it goes. He was gathering information. Think about it. They were using American children to be sexually assaulted by politicians, bankers, and royal family members for intelligence. And Donald Trump he didn't know he was going to be president. He was in there trying to make his portfolio higher. But look, he became president and he's caught up in this. If he wasn't president, he would be going down anyways. But now he has the power. And now we're going to see which country is he going to bomb, which city is he going to attack.
Yeah. No one would even care if he didn't become president. No one would even be pushing for this if he had not become president and also ran off of this. His entire side, they use this as this is part of their drain the swamp. You know what I mean? He's coming in to disrupt their normal state of affairs. We also have to understand that Ghislaine Maxwell's father is part of the Israeli intelligence agency as well. So this is not just a coincidence. It's about Epstein. It's about both of these two and the whole entire structure that's in place. We have to stop.
And they're saying, my bad to interrupt. In Giselle's new prison, she gets custom meals and she gets a support puppy. Where she's at right now.
She's not even supposed to be in this prison. This is not for sexual offenders. This is not for high risk offenders. This is not for us. Her offense is like an assaultive offense. It's not somewhere you can go to like the lowest custody, cushy type camp prison for. And they've been kicking people out of that prison because they're reporting back about the conditions that she's getting to live in. She's getting to run the prison now based off the fact that she's not going to tell. Why? I mean, answer this question. Why would you go send your top, your second in command in the DOJ, who's not supposed to take this type of a case on personally, went down to the prison, just him by himself with her attorney and her. He goes down there, speaks to him, and all of a sudden she gets transferred to a cushy prison. Does that make sense to you? She's not even allowed to be in by the letter of prisons and by the letter of the law. She's not allowed to be in there.
Well, we know this. This administration in the White House is corrupt, but everybody in America needs to look at yourself. Like, regardless if it was, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, is that who you really want leading you? Yeah. Is this who you really want to be in charge of you and your future and your children and everything that you hold dear? Because it doesn't seem like, some people, I don't care about the people that like them. There's people that like to, sexually assault children. We know that. There's a whole show dedicated to it called SVU. But is that who you want to lead you? Is that who you want to starve your children out? Huh? To make your stuff on the floor? Is this who you want to lead you? That's what you need to say. Be like, I still want him to be my leader. That's what I want to hear the people say.
And that's what I think that they're pretty much ready to say anyways. I think I've heard it already. I don't even care. I've heard this from people that I talk to, and they'll know who I'm talking about if they watch this. I've heard this. They do not even care if this was the case. You wouldn't care. So you never cared to begin with. Let's not act like you did in the beginning. You cared. These people were hiding this. This is what was going on. Everyone else was in these things. But now all of a sudden, it's the people who came out with the books in their hand, the binders. Hey, we're getting ready to release this. Now they don't want to show you, there's really nothing. First they were on the desk.
And the press secretary, if you notice today, ladies and gentlemen, go back. She didn't have her cross on her neck.
Caroline Levitt.
Yep. They noticed that every time she got a lie up there about him essaying children and stuff, she take that cross off her neck because she knows. Absolutely. And speaking of one, FBI issues memo asking ICE officers to stop wearing masks after impersonators. The FBI issued a memo asking ICE officers to stop wearing masks after several incidents of agents being impersonated. Staff writers at the Atlantic, Nick Moruff, who covers immigration in the Department of Homeland Security, joins Katie Tour to explain. So basically, what's happening here? Sorry, it's a short article there. But what's happening here? They're being impersonated. Because right now they don't have to show badges. They're arresting people without warrants. It's basically a third authoritarianism, what they've been doing. But a lot of women have been reporting they're getting kidnapped. They're getting sexually assaulted. They're just snatching people off the street. No one knows where these people are going. People are disappearing, and it's actually becoming an issue. And so, I just wanted to touch on this lightly because it's insanity. We posted on it a couple times, and it's madness right now. And Wes, I told you, I said this before, and you got pretty upset with me. I was like, if somebody rolls up on me with a mask saying they're ICE or any kind of law enforcement, and I ask them to show me identification and they refuse, we're holding court right there.
And I can't say that you were wrong about that at this point in time. But at the same time, we both know that this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to take that. They can look at you and say, that's a threat. You threatened us. When in reality, I'm defending my life.
Yeah,
you don't have any idea. You guys don't even respect countries who do not have military uniforms on. You don't respect that. You call them insurgents. You call them militants. You call them whatever else. You don't. That's a part of war. Those are part of. So why should I respect the person? You won't even make us pull over for unmarked car. There's a lot of things that we have to really pay attention to in this country. If a person's going to come to me with no markings that's stating that who he is, what he is, and tell me that they're ICE and I have to do X, Y, and Z or come with them or let them put me in handcuffs, do you think I'm going to comply with that? I'm not. I'm not going to comply with that.
I'm not either. Actually, I'm going to
don't even train these people properly. But go ahead.
I'm going to ask for your identification because as a law-abiding citizen and tax-paying citizen in America, you have to show me your identification. If you refuse to show me identification, I'm going to assume you don't have the proper identification because you are not proper law enforcement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my own gun out and take you out because what you're trying to do to me, I respect the law. I respect hey, if I'm doing something wrong, come get me. You know what I'm saying? But Absolutely. if you're not identifying yourself as law enforcement or any kind of law enforcement in America, then I'm assuming you're just trying to kidnap me to do something to me. And you're not taking my booty, homie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, not at all.
Not to make this into a laugh, because I know right now they've already had kidnappings that this is
sexual assaults, multiple.
And so at the and you got people. We've saw videos where a guy was acting like he was ISIS. This happened when Trump was first elected. He first came in as had his inauguration. They had the guy down in North Carolina who ran up on the Hispanic people and were like, "Hey, we're going to wait on ICE to get here," or whatever else. He was like, pretty much pretending to be. We don't know if people are going to be assaultive towards people. We don't know anything. And right now we see who they're targeting. They're targeting people of color. So what do you think I'm supposed to just listen to you because you're some burly dude or some whoever else with a mask on and they don't even have to have a thing that says police on them.
No, they're buying fake patches. They're buying fake patches. They're
They
buying
don't
fake
need any of
gear.
that though.
Like I
I've
have
seen
gear.
people with
Gear.
none
I
of
can
this.
close as one if I wanted to.
Hey,
Right now,
Matt,
just run up on somebody.
I've seen people with none of that, those
Yeah.
identifying factors, just a mask on their face and, you know, kind of just regular street clothes type people walking around here grabbing people on the street. If you touch me, I'm gonna. But that's at the same time, I'm not gonna let you kill me. I don't think anyone should let them just kill. Why should I have to be afraid? Like if I tell you to don't touch me and you touch me and I defend myself and I don't know who you are, what you want, even if you are ICE, I don't care. ICE has no authority over American citizens. I understand they have a buffer zone that touches most of all the blue cities in America because it's coastal cities that they have like 100-mile or something like that buffer zone where they have authority to go and ask people what they're, you know, hey, who are you? What is just that, and the third. But I understand that's harassment. I'm just not gonna let you. Don't put your hands on me. I don't have to respond to police officers who just walk up to me and ask me what my name is. You don't have to respond to them. So what makes you think I'm gonna respond to a person who will look at me like I'm someone who's not from this country, who's probably, my ancestors has probably been here 10 times longer than whoever you send after me. Think about that. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard before in my life.
Yeah, we live and think about all the people that have been kidnapped, they haven't found. Think about they that alligator Alcatraz, what was it, 1,200 people still missing?
Ridiculous. I think, yeah, a lot here. Just from there, imagine what we're going through. We don't know who you've taken anyways.
Imagine how many bodies we're gonna find in holes, in pits later on down the road. Just from them, they had the pick of the litter. We can pick up any brown person we want, kill them, and disappear them. They're not finding. You know, people are in ICE. Their families aren't even knowing they're in ICE for weeks, for months. There was a lady, American citizen. She just got locked up for 72 days, just because she was Mexican. 72 days.
200,000 applicants in ICE from ICE. 200,000. They're letting anybody in here. You know, people with no kind of, you know, bouncers. You know, I'm not knocking a bouncer. You know what I'm saying? They might have, you know what I mean? But you're just grabbing anyone off the street who you feel like this is okay and throwing them into action.
They already have the squad. You don't realize, Wes, you know, Patriot Front, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys. Absolutely. You don't see them in the streets. They ain't got to march no more. They gave them badges.
They gave them badges and guns and the right to go ahead and harass
they try to pass a law
whoever they want.
Yeah, the January 6ers, you see them all still getting in trouble. All the ones that got convicted of stuff. Like, yeah, they got the little army. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is you got to stand up to it. You ain't running up on me with no identification because you just kidnapping me. I'm from the streets.
Yeah, at this point in time, man, I feel like everyone must defend themselves. I don't feel bad when people fight back, especially if you don't know who it is. Fight back, man, because you don't know what you be getting yourself into.
They don't identify themselves to you properly like they do, and you're a U.S. citizen, fight back, because who knows what they're going to do to you, your mouth, and your booty hole.
On day 43 of the shutdown, a vote in the House could bring the impasse to an end. The House of Representatives is expected to approve a funding bill on Wednesday that would bring an end to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The measure, which extends funding levels for much of the government through January 30th, also includes a trio of appropriation bills that would fully fund some federal programs, including Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, through September 30th, 2026. Payments for SNAP, which provides food assistance to nearly 42 million American people, have been locked in a court fight as a result of the shutdown. The Senate approved the legislation late Monday, with 7 Democrats and 1 independent joining most Republicans. The bill includes a provision to reverse the layoffs the Trump administration imposed during the shutdown. Most Democrats on Capitol Hill angrily denounced the deal because it failed to address the central issue prompting the standoff: how to address the health care subsidies that are expiring at the end of the year. As part of the compromise, Senate Majority Leader John Thune of South Dakota agreed to hold a vote by mid-December on legislation Democrats will craft to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Some Republicans agree Congress needs to do something to head off steep premium increases for those relying on the subsidies, but it's unclear there are enough GOP votes to pass a bill through the chamber. Even if a deal comes together in the next few weeks, House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican of Louisiana, has declined to guarantee a vote. So, I mean, this was something right here that I feel like just a real quick on this right here. I know a lot of people are saying that the Democrats caved on this and that they got nothing out of the deal. When you don't have control of the House and you don't have control of the Senate and you don't have control of the presidency, there is really nothing that you can get out of a deal like this. There's no winning this deal. Only thing you can do is, to me, it would have been nice had the Republicans come to the table and say, you know what, I'm going to get this done. But I don't think Trump would have signed it. So at the end of the day, what I feel like happened is this: where are we at right now in the year? We're in holiday season.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's businesses. This is the biggest time of year for all businesses. That's corporations. So who do you think they're saving? Corporations, families love this time of year because it's a gift giving time of year for kids and everybody else. Plus, there's the food. So also bringing back SNAP was very important. So they funded it through September 26th.
Go ahead.
Let me real quick. So through September of 2026. So September 30th is when the next fight will happen. That's when the subsidies, I think they'll end at the end of this year, but they can go back and shut the government down again. But this time SNAP will be funded. You won't be able to hold people hostage as far as the food's concerned. There'll be another way to fight a fight that you cannot win. But at the end of the day, I feel like they did win because they won over the voters, and they may not have won the vote when it came to it, but they won over the voters. That's what I believe. The Democrats did win this one. Yeah. Honestly,
I look at it like this, man. When the corporations coming out like Walmart, McDonald's is like, hey, you messing up the money, because if it went on any longer, they're gonna have to look at the employees like, damn, now we really got to pay you real money. Because if people, you're mad at 42 million people on food stamps. Let's just point this out. Majority of those are children and senior citizens. The working adults, because you have to work while you're on food stamps. You either have to work or you have to go to school or you have to be in a program. You know what I'm saying? Like that, especially where I live at, you have to do something to get your food stamps unless you're on disability. The working poor, your jobs don't pay you enough. Think about it. They talk about every time you get on the news, hey, you guys aren't poor. Look at the stock market. It's booming. Yeah, it's booming for these corporations that make hella money, right?
Absolutely.
Like Walmart, they're making $300,000, 300 times more than what they're paying their CEOs or paying you people, right? And they could pay you an affordable wage. I mean, you saw the affordable wage during the shutdown. That's what they gave you. When they gave you the food stamps, they gave you extra unemployment. You saw that's how much money you're supposed to really be making in life to actually survive. They could do it. They don't want to. And the reason they don't have to. And so they were the ones stickling about it. Like with the government shutdown, it was
a positive thing to me.
I think it's bad because people weren't getting paid. Federal employees weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
The airlines are not going to go back to what they're supposed to be. That's what the Duffy guy said. He said it's still going to be crap. 40% of the planes are still going to be down. And it's just you shouldn't have any trust in this government. They're on vacation for 8 weeks getting paid while you sat there and you had to call in. They're telling me people at the shipyard crying, talking about their mortgages, electricity bills. You know what I'm saying? Like some states, they stuck up for their people and some states didn't. So, I mean, hopefully they shut down the government. I mean, they turn it back on. But I mean, I don't believe in the administration right now. Hopefully something's going to happen with the whole Epstein stuff. But
when I look at what just happened here with this, I mean, we have to really look at the facts. People, they say that, oh, this is a Democrat shutdown. If that's the way you want to paint it, then go ahead, because what is it? Another 20-something million people or more are going to look at a premium increase. These are all working class Americans. They're going to look at premium increases of up to 100% or more, on their health insurance because these subsidies are gone. And so, go ahead.
The Republicans could have done that. Donald Trump called for it. He's like, the Republicans do the filibuster. Just do the filibuster. They didn't need the Democrats' votes. They could have done the filibuster, but if the reason they didn't want to do it is because then they would own everything that went into this bill. I don't know if you saw it when they had the 8 senators. They stuck the bill in there where the 8 senators were able to sue for having their phones searched for January 6th. You know what I'm saying? And every phone system they had on there, they could sue for $500,000. So they were looking about, a good $3 million each.
Well, I mean, at the same time, too, once they do a filibuster, once they break the filibuster, then the Democrats can do it for anything. So that means that this is why they didn't want to do it, because there's certain things that Democrats broke the filibuster over the Supreme Court. For each chamber is like a different filibuster type of thing. They broke that over the Supreme Court. That's why now you only need 51 votes instead of a supermajority, 60 plus votes. They broke that on there. So now if they were to break it for this, the Democrats come out and say, okay, great, we want universal health care. 51 votes, all they would need, 51 votes. Once they break the filibuster over this, over these type of bills right here, it's a wrap. They don't want it. Republicans are like, this ain't a good idea, because it could quickly devolve into some extra stuff. And then people could really like what the Democrats have done with getting us universal health care, or taking education, or getting us child care, other things they needed 60 votes before to get. Now they don't need those votes anymore. It's a different situation. It's kind of
the president's desk, and then he has to sit there and be like, nah, y'all can't have
but what they understand is 2028. They seen what just happened in this, and we'll talk about this here next. But they saw what just happened here just on this last election cycle we just had. They saw them getting swept out. They understand what's going to happen. I saw Republicans speaking about this, and they were having conversations saying, "Hey, man, we need to do something about these subsidies because this, they're scared right now. They know that Trump he's not as strong as he once was. You're not on the ticket anymore. You won't be on the ticket again."
Look, he's a good salesman to you.
Mm-hmm.
He told you what he needed to tell you. But his policies is crap. You know what I'm saying? Everything they're doing. If you ain't a billionaire, you ain't getting richer. Think about it. I went to go buy beef the other day, and it was double the price for a pound of beef. And I can imagine there's some people that just only eat beef. I was like, let me get this turkey over here. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had more time, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to keep you up to date with this. This Uncommon Courtesy. Wes, how many days has it been?
It's been let's just say right now, I'm not 100% privy to that. I appreciate you keeping me on my toes. Let's just say it's been too damn long that this person has been in office right now. We've been living under a person whose authoritarian rule has been growing. But if you notice lately, he kind of backed up off of a little bit of this stuff when he took this hit in November. So please keep it up, ladies and gentlemen. I think this might have a little bit of a better effect if we keep on voting these guys out and keep on pushing in the right people. Things can get back to normal at some point in time, maybe.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncommon Courtesy. Until next time.